Good morning, everyone. This is Charles Owen from Paladin. How are you? Thanks for tuning in today. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I recognize a lot of names that are in here, so thank you all for joining. Today's webinar, we're going to be discussing the different ways that Paladin does e-commerce and how simple it is. This is being recorded, so you will be able to watch this in the future. If you are interrupted with customers, please, customers come first. You can always go back and rewatch this again, and as it will be recorded and pushed onto the website. You'll be able to find that at portal.paladinpos.com/webinars. And if we have any questions, I'll be glad to answer those towards the end of the presentation. I don't expect this to be very long, probably maybe 10-15 minutes tops, I think. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to learn today. So I'm going to go over basics, why e-commerce, just talk to you about the e-commerce goals today for most retailers, what some of the recent e-commerce trends are, and then we'll get into specifics about the different e-commerce integrations that Paladin supports. Basically 3 different categories. One is we support the e-commerce integrations with our suppliers, several suppliers out here, Ace, Do It Best, True Value, United, House-Hasson, to name a few. Secondly, we have an API, or an application programming interface, that will enable you to really integrate Paladin with any e-commerce platform out there. And then we have the Volusion as well, which is another e-commerce infrastructure that enables you to hook up and connect to Paladin. And then lastly, we have Webstore integrators that you can go to, Webstore systems integrators. So we'll talk about all that and share that with you. Moving into the first slide here. So what are some of retailers' e-commerce goals? I think it's pretty straightforward at this point. E-commerce has been around for a long time. Really, if you don't have a website that is versatile enough and gives your consumers what they need, then you're not really competing like you should be, I would guess. One is it establishes credibility in the retail market. Right? If you have a website, you've got a name out there, and if you can even purchase on the website, even better. It increases brand awareness and exposure. There's a lot of stores that want more of this. They want more brand awareness. They want to alert more people to their products and their services. They can do that through an online presence. It enables you to compete with the big dogs, with the big box stores and others that are out there, where you can kind of have the same features, as you will, and same services that they provide. And more importantly, as of late, particularly with COVID and the pandemic, it really provides an alternative method of selling. And bottom line is most consumers are demanding it. They're looking at product availability and price comparisons right on their phone before they even shop for a product. E-commerce trends. So retailing changes in 2020. As we know, things really changed significantly in the way of just retailing in general, right? Nielsen data shows that 67% of all consumers say they changed the way they shop due to the pandemic. I think that's a given. I think we all had to make modifications and changes based on that, and to stay safe as well. E-commerce sales grew in that time over 32%. And the number of purchases made online and picked up at the stores increased by 208%. So you can see it just shows you that a lot of changes were made in 2020 because of the pandemic. And I think some of those habits and some of those trends are still maintained by consumers. I know they are with me. So Paladin e-commerce integrations, we're going to talk about the different ways that Paladin enables you to have a virtual store in addition to your brick and mortar store, and how to keep those 2 stores synchronized and see all data on one system, in the Paladin system. So we offer a ton of different ways that you can add e-commerce to your store. And the main purpose of this is to synchronize the data, synchronize the stock on hand, prices, descriptions, and things of that nature, to where it's one of the same system. You make changes in Paladin, it updates it in real time on the website. And we do support multiple platforms, and we also provide, as I mentioned, an API. So let's go in each one of those one by one right now. We're going to start with Ace Hardware, the acehardware.com e-commerce integration. So we're fully integrated with the AOS system, stands for Ace Hardware Order System, and the buy online pickup in the store. Ace has a great solution for this. All their Ace stores are able to participate in this, and if you're an Ace store using Paladin, it's just that much easier. On the comparative revenue reports, all the information in the in-store pickup transactions are recorded in Paladin and appear separately on that report. And all the acehardware.com invoices and on-hold quotes are stored and reported in Paladin. So how it works in Ace is before an order is even placed, you know that when the customer checks the web store, the acehardware.com, they're going to see a stock on hand that's going to match what's in Paladin. So they're going to know what your stocking levels are before they even go shopping at your store. If they place an order online and want to pick it up in the store, the AOS integration automatically puts the item on hold in Paladin. So the image that you see here to the left shows bringing up on hold items, and you can see the name is Ace ISPU, stands for in-store pickup, and it shows the quantity on hand that are on hold for that customer. After the customer picks up the item in the store, it goes ahead and, well, that information, first of all, has to be entered into AOS by the store clerk. That's just a process that Ace has. Once they confirm that the order was picked up in AOS, then Paladin performs its magic with no intervention at all from anybody, where it will go ahead and cancel out that on hold and transact it as a payment, and that will be searchable in the invoice and quote module for recalling transactions, as well as you'll be able to see it on the stock on hand history report. The invoice is then available under recent sale history viewer for cash invoices, and the employee's name for all of these will be set to Paladin batch because there is no employee name. It's done online, it's done by ISPU, so it'll just record as Paladin batch. In the reports module under the comparative revenue report, AOS in-store pickup transactions are set up and displayed as a Webstore source. That is the source of payment, basically. It's the Webstore, and that itemizes, you can get itemization of those as well, and that's through the transaction report. So you can search for the note ISPU for a particular date range, and that'll find all the transactions that were processed through acehardware.com in-store pickup method. All right, moving on to Do It Best hardware e-commerce integration support. So in Do It Best, they chose the Mosi platform as their e-commerce integration platform. Mosi is a simple, easy to use e-commerce platform that allows stores to easily manage their online storefront. And after the site launches, stores can update content anytime through the admin page. And any changes that are made in Paladin, again, are synchronized with Mosi online. Not only that, but all of the Do It Best SKUs are ready to go with the integration. They're all set, including the images and everything else. Custom SKUs can be added through Paladin. So what happens is all the pricing inventory and special product offerings and special pricing are all pulled in and updated from Paladin, and Mosi enables it uploads about every 20 minutes. So it synchronizes that data. Moving on to True Value hardware e-commerce integration support. So with True Value, they chose a different partner for their e-commerce web store, and that is Easy Add. True Value has an integration called Spec 98, which we comply with, which integrates all the information and sends that required information to True Value. Paladin stock on hand and price changes are automatically uploaded to keep a web store stock on hand and pricing information up to date. To continue with True Value, stores can sync their Paladin POS system to have products that are, that are in Paladin easily available and pushed to the e-commerce website just by a check of a box on the inventory in Paladin. Product images and descriptions are already available in the e-commerce system as well. And True Value, as I mentioned, has a Spec 98 integration that automatically matches POS products to its database of over 8 million products. So another great solution by a supplier. Here's another one with United ECommerce Integration Support. So they've chosen to partner with Ignitive to provide a state-of-the-art e-commerce solution for their unified commerce platform. The integration gives United stores the product information and the ability to check on product availability, just like we do with the other suppliers. Inventory data is pushed and updated from Paladin to their web store every 24 hours. And at a press of a button, just like all the integrations out there, Paladin clients can also manually upload their stock on hand and full retail pricing. Store managers get the flexibility to communicate their offers and promotions also that are in Paladin and push those to the web store. Next, we have House-Hasson hardware e-commerce integration support. What House has done is they've gone with a partner called New Media Retailer, which are basically a Webstore integrator. And we work with New Media Retailer, and they work with us through the Paladin ECommerce API, which we'll be talking about shortly. The retailers can build and operate their online sale platforms with their database in Paladin, which again provides current stock on hand information and online invoices. So the Paladin's e-commerce API, which we just mentioned as the solution that New Media Retailer uses for House-Hasson, I'm going to talk about a little bit about that. What is this? It is an API or application programming interface that allows really any e-commerce platform to integrate with Paladin. This is truly remarkable. This is a great feature, a great add-on to the Paladin system. It enables just about any web service out there to connect to Paladin. So we get that bi-directional information and flow of things like stock on hand, as well as passing the new prices and descriptions and other things. So full synchronization from Paladin to the web store. So to get information on this, it's fully public information that you can get access to through the Paladin e-commerce API repository on GitHub. This link down below will take you there if you are looking at the presentation after the fact. But you can also just go to GitHub and look for Paladin POS, and you'll see a number of different APIs that we have posted for availability to work on. And we do provide for you some test credentials so that you can go ahead and write to this interface, test it all, and then turn around and request production credentials when you're ready to go live with the Paladin e-commerce API. Some of the fields that are available with the get inventory data are, part number, description 1 and 2, alternate part number, manufacturer number, weight, core charge, stock on hand, quantity on order, the taxable flag, and retail price, of course. So the API will create an invoice in Paladin from the e-commerce site and update the stock on hand in Paladin. E-commerce sales are tracked in Paladin and reported on the comparative revenue report. And invoices are available as well. So Volusion Integration. So we've got quite an extensive integration with the Volusion platform, which is an e-commerce platform that creates an online shopping experience for your consumers. It's turnkey, it's easy to use, it's a great solution, and we integrate with it at the core level with their API. So what happens is Paladin and Volusion allow stores to keep the stock on hand levels updated, and this is a bi-directional. So if it sells in the store, it will decrement on the virtual side. If it sells on the virtual side, it'll decrement the stock on hand on the store side. So it's combining the online sales with the inline sales or brick and mortar stores. You can add or remove online store items using Paladin. To invoke this, you just go to Paladin and click on the external sync box on any inventory item, and that will instantly push that item to Volusion. If you have items that are discontinued and you discontinue them in Paladin, they'll automatically discontinue them on the Volusion website as well. The information is shared online, so when changes are made to the descriptions in Paladin or the prices or other information, it will automatically update in Volusion in real time. It also tracks online sales in Paladin. So when customer purchases online, Paladin creates an invoice. That invoice can be those invoices can be recalled and tracked. And also it creates customer accounts. So if a customer signs up on Volusion as a member, it will automatically create an account in Paladin. If it identifies that account in Paladin as having an alternate ID or identification number for that customer, and it recognizes that for a customer that shops online, it will add it to that customer's profile. So other things that we do are we handle items that are not in your normal inventory. So if you've got in-store products that are different than what's online, let's say you offer a whole nother line of products or thousands more on the Volusion website that you don't store in Paladin, that's okay. We bring that on into the Paladin system as we itemize it as a web store item that was not in Paladin. And then we put the description, we pulled the description from the website and put that as a no field underneath that line item. So you know exactly what items are selling when you're looking in Paladin at the different transactions that occurred on your virtual store. Just note all subscriptions to Paladin and Volusion are required for use with both services, and that's typical of all the e-commerce integrations that we have today, whether you sign up with Ace, True Value, Do It Best, or the rest. Typically there is a small fee for the startup, and then there's a monthly fee as well. Lastly, our Webstore integrators. So we've partnered with a couple of different Webstore integrators out there. New Media Retailers, one, and then the other one is BuilderWire. The contact information is here. Feel free to contact either one of those. They have different services. They're both tremendous at what they do. They've been doing it for a long time and they know what they're doing. And they integrate with Paladin through our Paladin ECommerce API. All right, so preparing for the questions, I'll just put a little plug in here for our next webinar, which is on April 26th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Improve customer service with supplement staff with kiosks. So your customers really have better things, or your employees have better things to do than to just answer people's questions. How much is this? How much is this all day long? So you can actually plant these kiosks at the ends of your lanes and in your display area, where they can just swipe something underneath it and it will tell the price. That is a solution that we have today. It is available and running in stores. Feel free to contact customer support if you're interested. And then in conclusion, we've got several different resources you can go to. Again, we appreciate you attending this webinar. We really like the fact that you're applying your resources to learning more about how you can leverage the Paladin system, how you can make more money, how you can drive more customers to your store, and that sort of thing. I'm looking at the questions, and so far I do not see any questions. Nothing has come down at this time. So I'll give it another half a minute or so. Some of the areas that you might want to peruse that Paladin has as additional resources is our Retail Science webpage. Lots of different articles that we syndicate that you'll find there that are very helpful, not only just in, generally it's not about Paladin specifically, but it's about retailing and how you can grow your store. The webinars, as I mentioned before, you can get to our knowledge base on webinars. Just go into portal.paladinpos.com. You don't have to be in your store and click on the Paladin application where it says help above, but that is another way to do it. And then if you add the /webinars, that'll go direct to webinars. If you add training videos. And by the way, we have a lot of new training videos up there for your new staff that are coming on board. Very basic, 1 to 2 minute long videos that talk about how to transact a payment, how to do a cash sale, a check sale, that sort of thing. Very helpful, and you can access that as well. All right, so based on that, folks, I don't see any questions. I really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for attending. God bless, and until next time, have a good one. Stay safe.